Hi guys, this is Dr. Omolola Omoshebi and I'm really excited to share with you in another episode of the Beautiful Branch Life series. In this episode, I'll be talking about the master key to having a successful marriage. I know you might be guessing, maybe it's hard work. Yes, I believe you must have heard people say more than once probably that marriage requires hard work. I would agree maybe halfway by saying that yes, marriage requires work, but maybe not necessarily hard work. Yes, because it doesn't have to be hard if you do it right. So, what is that key that I would like to show you in this video? That key is intentionality. You being intentional about making your marriage work. Now, both of you have to have this key in your hands to make sure that your marriage succeeds. In this video, I would like to highlight a few areas where you need to be intentional if you want to have a successful marriage. The first area is your relationship with God. Yes, you must be intentional about your relationship with God. The first thing you need to know is that marriage is God's idea, not man's idea. So that is to tell you that if God is the foundation of marriage, is the creator of marriage, is the initiator of marriage, you cannot do marriage right outside of God. Forget it. You can't. It's a fact that God rules over the affairs of men. And the Bible also makes us to realize that God owns the heart of kings and He directs it like the watercourse to whichever way He wants. So if you want to have a beautiful relationship with your spouse, you need God at the center. You cannot force another human to become what they don't want to become. You cannot force them to do what they do not want to do. But when you call upon God and you have a personal relationship with God, you can actually talk to God about your partner and trust Him to help your partner become a better person. You can't force your partner to become that picture of a better person that you have in your heart. So when you groom your relationship with God, you're in a better space to have a better spouse because you are now God's child and you relate with Him. You trust Him with everything. You do not rely on your own understanding. And when you rely totally on God, you will see Him working for you. You will see Him putting things in place for you, putting things in order. Now, don't get it wrong. I am not saying that you should have a relationship with God so that God can help you control your spouse or coerce your spouse into becoming what you want them to be. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when you have a relationship with God, you yourself will become a better person. You will have a plain heart. You will have a heart that is aligning with God. And that way, God will cause everything to work together for your good because you are now His, because you are doing everything to please Him. And God will also rise to make sure that everything around you works well. Next, you need to be intentional about keeping the communication lines open. Yes, the communication line between you and your spouse. You have to be intentional about it. You see, someone you communicate with regularly, somebody you talk with regularly, you will get to know more. Yes. So if you communicate well and you learn the art of effective communication, it will be easy for you to understand each other. So you have to be open to communication. You have to be intentional about communicating with one another. There is no way you would neglect this aspect and expect that your marriage is going to work. See, these are two individuals here, and you will not always think alike. So when you are able to communicate, you can clear the air and make it easier for both of you to understand one another. So be very, very intentional about your communication. Even when you are not in the same space, thank God for technology. Yes, you can communicate as much as possible, even if you're miles apart. So make good use of that tool in your hands. Communicate regularly. Make sure that you call your spouse as regularly as possible. And that takes me to the third aspect where you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional about keeping the flames of your romance burning. Yes, you have to be intentional about it. I know there is economic trouble, you have kids, they take your time and all of that, but please, it is very important that you are intentional. You need to set time apart to do things that both of you love doing. Set time apart. You have to be intentional about it. If you look at everything going on around you, you won't do anything. So, does your spouse love going out? You can take a stroll. You can organize a micro dinner even at home. Just make the ambience beautiful, romantic. Have flowers, candles. Trust me, these little things would go a long way. If you know that your spouse loves receiving gifts, don't wait until you have a huge sum of money before you get him or her something. Just start small. Make it a culture. Make sure that you prioritize your love life. Yes, it doesn't have to go sour. It doesn't have to go, really cold because now you're married. I get to see a number of videos where they try to depict marriage as something that is supposed to be boring. But no, I do not agree. It can even be more romantic now that you're married compared with when you were single, irrespective of how much more responsibilities you now have and how much things have changed. It's about the intention. It's about the heart. It's about the fact that both of you have agreed to be intentional about your marriage. Another area where you need to be intentional is prioritizing your spouse. You need to prioritize your spouse above every other person and above every other thing. Yes, of course, except God. You need to be intentional about it. You might be tempted to prioritize your job, prioritize your business, looking for money, prioritize even your extended family members. But know that now that you are married, your spouse is your priority and you should keep it like that. You have to be intentional about it and let your spouse see that, yes, I am priority in the life of this person. Trust me, that goes a long way to maintaining your marriage and helping the marriage grow even stronger. I hope that you get the message from this video. Generally, you just need to be intentional. Once both of you are intentional about making sure that your marriage works, trust me, with the help of God, that marriage will work. But know that one person cannot be intentional while the other person is not. It takes two to tango. I hope that you have been inspired by this video. If you have, please share this video with as many people as you can. Give this video a thumbs up. Yes, please like the video. And of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. And once you do that, remember to turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified once a new video drops on this channel. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch this video. God bless you. Bye.